Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy AAron2420, and I'm bringing you guys my Hive Kakuna draft analysis for Season 7 of Hive Kakuna. This is our second time in Kakuna Division. Last time that I uploaded for Hive, we were also in Kakuna, and then I skipped my Weedle upload, which I should have uploaded because we went 7-3 plus 13. Third place overall for anyone unfamiliar. We lost our own playoffs, and it was an extremely close game. Truthfully, it could have honestly went either way. There was no real hacks, so it's not like I lost to hacks or anything. There was no, like, misplays on either end. I feel like it was just a genuinely really close game that came to, like, the literal last turn. So, it was a fun run. I'll probably link Ian's stuff down below because Ian actually uploaded the playoffs run, including our battle. So, I'll link his stuff down below if you guys want to watch our game at the very least. I'll link that. And then I highly recommend you guys check out the rest of his run. Ian's a great guy. I love Ian. He's in Kakuna with us this season. But yeah, I want to do my draft analysis though because of how I did last season, and I want to finish a Kakuna draft or a Kakuna run because I did not do that season 5, and I mean partially it was honestly just because I was uploading like 6 leagues at once. I was way too overwhelmed, but I mean I cut it because it was optional and I was doing pretty bad. Even then though, with how much I was doing overall, I wasn't exactly inclined to really continue uploading it. So yeah, that's where we are. If you guys enjoy this, leave a like down below, like, comment, subscribe for more. Make sure to click links down below. Comment your thoughts on my draft as well. I'd love to hear them. I think my draft is definitely better than last time Kakuna, but it's still not perfect. And I am going to mention a particular mon that I am thinking of free agenting. I'm not going to mention for what, though, because I don't want people taking it. I've mentioned, like, 1 or 2 people, and they agree I should definitely be making this transaction. So I feel safe in that in itself. I might keep them on, though, depending on how it does. I'm really 50-50. Regardless, though, I'm going to get into my draft. We had 14th pick overall, which, in hindsight, actually, I'm pretty glad we got 14th pick overall. I'd had first pick overall second pick overall in my league. I kind of liked it, but it's like, the only new mon I really wanted to use is Dragapult and Melmetal. I didn't think the Melmetal would have gotten taken the 14th here, so I was like, okay, you know what? If I have the 14th, that's solid. And I was like, I already using Dragapult. I'm not a big fan of Darm. It is really broken, but I'm not a big fan of Darm in general, let alone Galarian Darmanitan. I just not great at using it. But it is definitely broken as fuck. Some other quick things I will mention. In terms of, there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, Megas allowed, Zimus are not allowed, so this will influence some picks, and I'll get to those down the line. It'll influence especially some of my picks as well, and how I got them as late as I did, and I'll go over why I got them even without Zimus being a thing. Otherwise, just quick notes, ban moves are things like Return, Pursuit, stuff like that, that's not in the Gen 8 metagame. Megas are allowed, so thought that was a bit complicated and messy, but hey, not my league. I think though that I'm kind of glad this is definitely a solid format, and comparing to BBL when I'm going to be doing the unreleased moves, it'll be a nice way to just see what I like more, so I'm definitely not objected to it in any sense. 14th pick though, some of the first picks in this metagame, Dragapult first, really just new Mon Syndrome, then I think the Dragapult probably shouldn't have even been top 5 unless the Zimus were a thing, and even then it would barely be top 5, maybe. Negasazor, was shocked this was not the first Mon overall. Negasazor was really solid for the allow list. Other things like Darm could have probably been first pick. Darm was like 6th, I believe. Aegislash and Mew went. Melmetal was top 5. That shocked me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but still not a bad pick. Then Zeraora, Lando T didn't really shock me. Those went. Maybe Zeraora before Lando T shocked me a bit, but I mean, they were definitely top Mons. Selly again, shocked just didn't go slightly early, but still not bad. Dragovish was somehow not shocked by this. I was shocked, if anything, that I wasn't shocked by it. Then Lele DOD. DOD should have been later. DOD kind of sucks, to be honest. Then we get to Mega Zam, and Mega Zam was actually something I really, really wanted in my first pick. Mega Zam was probably, like, that and Melmetal were the 2 things I really wanted at 14th. Melmetal, new Toy Syndrome, to be honest. I didn't think they would have gotten taken as early, but I forgot how much Mio loves them on, so I'm not shocked that Mio got it. Mega Zam, though, I genuinely thought might have gotten to me. Albeit, it was more so just with how the draft progressed that I thought it might have gotten to me. Because it is disgustingly good. I think no Pursuit format, it doesn't really get hurt by no hidden powers. Barrier is slightly an issue, but it's not overly bad because Barrier was really good against like Pursuit Dark types or Sucker Punch Dark types. And it doesn't really have to worry about that anymore because Pursuit can't trap it. So the loss of Barrier, while it isn't great for it, I mean it's fine because you're never punished for switching out with Zam either. So I think that slight loss is definitely warranted compared to how much of a win it got from a lack of pursuit. Still has great coverage, didn't really need hidden powers for anything. Still Calm Mind and Recover, great options for it. It still has Encore, so it does have some great utility for it. It was really, really sad this Mon did not get to me. However, at 14th pick overall, I got myself Mega Mawile pick 1. Mega Mawile, I thought was a really good pick because, one, the priority I thought was really nice, and two, because without Z moves, the fact that this thing can break really well is going to be a lot more important against really fat teams. So with the lack of Z, I thought that Mega Mawile just being such a natural breaker, I thought I could build around it pretty easily, to be honest. In my opinion, it wasn't going to be that hard, but I think I overestimated a little bit. Well, I underestimated a little bit how hard it would be to build in the new format. Really disgusting typing. Steel Fairy, one of the best typings in my opinion, just in general. Really great physical move pool. Good rocker. This thing is definitely an underrated rocker, and while I don't want to put rocks on every week, I've had instances in the past where I drafted Mega Mawile, and it's actually been a really good rocker in some matchups. People, for some reason, think that Steel types wall this thing. I'm not sure why they do. Sub Punch, I've ran it plenty of times to get around even the fattest of Steel types, and it works great. So, personally, I'm a big fan of this mod. I think it's one of the things I build the best around in terms of, like, a week of 6. I think it's one of the mods I'm the most comfortable building a set for. Luckily, in my builder, Jay, I have Jay working with me as well this season, again, like he did for Weedle. Most of you guys probably don't know Jay, but Jay helped me with leagues such as BBL Season 1 for a few weeks. Jay's helped me with my Hive Weedle builds. So I do have a lot of faith in Jay. Jay will probably be working with me. I know he has experience with this mod as well, so I felt really comfortable in drafting Mega Mawile in that sense as well. Because I felt pretty confident that between myself and Jay, we have 2 great Mega Mawile users in the field for building this. So I felt confident. Next mod up, I was actually a little bit surprised because purely not the fact that I think this mod shouldn't have been round 2, because I think in this format it kind of deserves round 2, or at least back wheel like I pretty much got it. But I think more so I'm shocked just because I know that Hive loves the fuck out of this mod. I somehow got round 2 Garchomp. And I got Garchomp honestly because while it does lack Z this gen, which I think was a huge thing for it in Gen 7, at the same time though, no hidden power this gen is kind of clean. Obviously I don't have things like Gliscor, which I almost actually got Gliscor as well, I'm not gonna lie. Gliscor was something I highly considered. It ended up actually going pretty much back wheel round 2, which did shock me a little bit. Defensively without hidden powers, that mod is actually pretty fucking scary. It was already a really good tier 2. It was probably one of the best tier 2s as it was, but I wanted Garchomp because I felt like Garchomp was really threatening offensively, and also Tank Shop is actually pretty underestimated. I wanted the speed as well because 102 speed is pretty nice. It's a great Scarfer for 100 setup mons, or 100 Scarfers in general. I thought it was really important. Scarf sets, I already mentioned Scarf sets. Defensively, I think this thing takes a lot of rock pressure off of Mawile, which is great to be honest. The typing as well, really good ground, and I usually do overlook getting a good ground type. I figured as well I wanted to get a flying or just a ground immunity later on. I didn't want to necessarily get Gliscor because my plan was going to get Mega Mawile, Gliscor, Keldeo. But I wasn't really sold on Keldeo, and Keldeo would have actually gotten taken anyway, so I'm a little bit glad I didn't jump the gun on that necessarily. Because I would not have known what I really wanted to grab should I have done that. But yeah, Garchomp's a really good breaker as well. 130 something attack. You guys know the stats. You can look them up on Showdown if you want. But in general, I just like Garchomp a lot. I think as well the fact that this thing can clear steel types from Mawile in most cases is really nice. So I don't need to rely on sub punch hits, even though I can obviously get around stuff like Mega Aggron with sub punch. Selly SD plus Thunder Punch is great for it. So it does have options, but obviously taking the pressure off of that is really nice. So yeah, I like Garchomp though. In my opinion, really good pick. Next up on the list, round 3, we got ourselves Scolipede. Now, I think I might have jumped the gun on this mon a little bit. I think I could have probably waited a little bit longer on Scolipede. I don't think I really sniped anyone, but I just wanted the fast spikes option in all honesty. Grand got taken. I was not shocked by that at all. I should have expected that Grand would have went. But at the same time, I knew that all of my ground 4 times a week to ice mons would have been taken. And I want at least one of them. Zyger got taken right before Gliscor. Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't think Zyger got taken, but I remember it getting taken mid-draft. But yeah, so I'm not shocked that Greninja went by any means, but it did shake my plan up a little bit. So I got Scully, really just fast dual spiker. That's really all I wanted it for, but it still is definitely not a bad pick by any means. Still a good, fast, offensive mon. Scolipede as well is something that I feel like, especially in my cases, I've had a lot of issues prep around Scolipede. because of the fact that with Life Orb especially, I think people underestimate Life Orb, especially in Scolipede, but Life Orb SD is actually really threatening on this mon. I think a lot of people like really think that if you're not Z moving a Scolipede, it's a waste. I think definitely it's not as good without Z, but it is still a really good mon nonetheless. Also, nothing is Z this gen, so that's not necessarily going to be a handicap for it, because it's not like anything it required running Z moves, such as a Fly mon, like Z Fly Lando, for example. This can at least run all its moves and hit one turn. So, I don't think it was messing in that regard. But yeah, I just wanted it for the T-Spike community plus spikes. Thought it was really nice. Next pickup. This is something I'm definitely... Swirlipede is something I'm considering free agenting. Like, maybe. But I'm thinking it'll probably be fine. This next mon, though, I think I'm definitely going to free agent. Being Cresselia. I immediately realized after drafting Cresselia, which truthfully I got for a Psychic that was immune to ground, and it was a fat mon. I realized two things. One, could have gotten Uxie. Uxie would have been nice. I'm pretty sure Uxie's taken. Yeah, Uxie got taken like round 8. A little bit late for it, I'm not going to lie, but I mean, I can't complain. I didn't draft it. But more so, though, what I'm looking at is another Psychic type in the pool. I mean, I can actually probably mention it. I'll just play my week 3 game really early. I'm kind of looking at Goth. Main reason I'm looking at Gothitelle is the move pool buff, plus the fact that it can trap. I think that'll be really nice for Mawile. And Garchomp and everything in general, really just trapping like bulky steel types and nasty plot setting up on them and then going for their sword power. Because steel types don't really have that good recovery, and even something like a Selly, for example, I could trap it, go for Nasty Plot Thunderbolt, and that'll hit Selly really well. Nasty Plot is a great addition to Goth's move pool, especially because it's not going to sit around and take as long to set up and get a Toxic Stall faster. So Rest isn't as mandatory on it. At the same time, though, Rest was never bad on Goth. So it is still definitely something I can run, of course. It's not like I lost that option. But Goth in general, really threatening mon. I think his move pool buffs only help it. Crest, though, is still something I did like on the team, and I think I might change my mind on it. Because Crest still does offer a really fat Psychic with recovery, like reliable recovery, unlike Goth. 85 speed is actually really good. Obviously not as good as Uxie's 95, but I get recovery for that 10 base speed difference, so I really don't mind, and it probably pairs better with my team slightly more, because Garchomp has 102, so the jump between that and Mawile is slightly more patched in this case. Crest has also offered Trick Room, and again, all these Psychics that I've mentioned do offer Trick Room, so it's really not that big of a difference. But Crest does also have some nice utility on the other side for things such as Thunder Wave, which is pretty nice for it. Again, I think they all get that though, so it doesn't really unique to Crest. What is unique to Crest, though, as far as I'm aware, is Lunar Dance. So Lunar Dance is essentially like Crest's version of Healing Wish. Really nice for Mawile if I want to bring it in a second time, or for Garchomp. Even Swirlipede to an extent, but mostly Garchomp, Mawile. Probably Mawile especially, though. So that is, of course, really nice for it. I think that in itself will be a really nice addition to Crest. Has a really good coverage pool as well, and especially things like Ice Beam, for example, when there are no hidden powers, is actually really good because of the fact that I can hit and wall out a lot of 4-time Ice Weak mons like Gliscor I can definitely take a hit from, Zygarde I can take a hit from, Lando I can take a hit from, etc, etc. So all these really nasty 4-times Ice Weak mons, I think I can chew hits from, even at +2 if they're to set up. So I should be fine. I think that was the big reason for Crest over something like Goth, is just the fact that it can definitely hit those mons pretty well. Obviously, I'm not sure how I'm going to like Crest. I've never been one for Crest, but I saw people talking about it in chat, and I was like, yeah, you know, Crest would pair with this mon. Why not? I didn't even ask for a suggestion, I just saw people talking about Crest, and I was like, ooh, fun. Next mon, we have Incineroar. Incineroar is a mon I actually really like this gen. I could definitely see this thing being a bit higher, maybe like a 2B. It was 2A, 3A to be fair, and Arcanine is 2B, so Arcanine would probably go up. So I can definitely see why they put it 3A. I don't think it's under tier necessarily, but I could get if it was higher, if that makes sense. Incineroar has a lot going for it this gen. For one, the addition of Parting Shot is really good because of the fact that it can definitely get around things like King Shield. Well, I believe Aegislash. Yeah, Aegislash was allowed. So for example, if I want to pivot on Aegislash now, I can actually Parting Shot on its King Shield, still get the momentum out into something like a Garchomp, and it's free momentum that turn as well because King Shield does not block that. And while it's a very niche example, the fact that Incineroar is still a really bulky pivot, and Boots do help a lot this gen with that fire weakness. Knockoff support is great with Stab. It still can U-turn, of course, if I want to run like an AV set, so it isn't dead weight if I do go the AV route, either in momentum. Really good defensive fire typing. Intimidate is invaluable in my opinion, and especially with the dual Intimidate core and that in Mega Mawile, we start to get to more of the synergy aspect of my team, besides like, oh, you know, I have a Steel Fiery Dragon Core. So we get to a lot more of the actual synergy, which I think is really cool. This thing can beat down a lot of ghosts for Crest, which to be fair, Not a lot of ghosts will really get to Crest. Maybe it's something like a Gengar or a Polti will, but not a lot will truly break Crest that well, just because of how naturally thick this thing is. But yeah, no, in general, I do like Incineroar a lot. I think Incineroar was actually a really nice glue option for my team. And even though I was going to go Rotom Heat at first, I think that Incineroar probably actually fits a bit better. Just my personal opinion. Obviously, Rotom Heat would have been great. It would have cleared waters. But Rotom Heat was taken, I think, like, literally, I think, right after I got Crest, actually. I think it was taken a few picks later. So, that was certainly unfortunate. Yeah, Rotom Heat went, like, literally the round after I got Crest, like 12 picks later. So, next up, our round 6 pick, we got Jellicent. Jellicent I liked a lot here, actually, as well. Jellicent was another really big blue mon for me. I wanted Toad. And I think Toad would have actually been a bit better. I could have gotten a low-tier Ghost, for example, like, I don't fucking know. But I could have gotten a low-tier Ghost, and that's what matters. But Jellicent, I think, was a really nice spin blocker for me. It's tier 4, and I really was not a big fan of a lot of the tier 4 mons. One of the tier 4 mons I was considering were stuff like a Selgor. I considered Blastoise, but I mean, I didn't like how early Blastoise was probably going to go. It went like round 5. It went before I even got Incineroar. And it was something I considered, but it was like a pipe dream. Maybe it was around like round 8 or something. But I was not looking at a round 4 Blastoise just to make sure to get sniped. So, did not care about it that much. Let's see. So, Jellicent in general was a pretty clean mon. I liked a lot the spin blocking aspect and that it has recovery, which a lot of ghosts don't actually get. It's really just stuff like Palisand, this, and that might even be it, in all honesty. I think like Polti gets Strength Sap, Corsola and Corsola get Strength Sap, but not a lot really gets recovery, especially reliable recovery, which this thing gets flat out recover, which is really clean for it. It does also get Strength Sap, so if I do want to go that route, I can. It's another Trick Room setter from Mawile, which is great, and even Incineroar now can be a nice Trick Room breaker. 1-something attack, I think it's like 120, really good physical mon, especially with bulk up setup. That can still be a nice Trick Room option. I do have another Trick Room option later on, I'll get into that in a moment. But I thought that for the Trick Room aspect of my team, this fit really well. Jellicent itself can actually be a nice special breaker in Trick Room. Has, I think, like base 100 special attack, and Offensive Water is a pretty good typing this gen in my opinion. Jellicent, yeah, 85, okay, so it's not as impressive, but Specs Trick Room Water, well, not Specs Trick Room, but Trick Room Water Spout does still hit teams pretty hard. Even then, I mean, for a fat mon, this thing can at least hit non-passively, which is good. It gets a nice Pain Split, which again, another way to weaken enemies. Not the best mon, but I mean, for tier 4, you get what you get. Trick and Taunt, always valuable options in my opinion, especially Taunt, really, really good move. For tier 4, I thought this was a really good pick. Definitely not like a steal or anything, but like maybe it could have been 3B. Still a good mon nonetheless. I think this thing was a really good option for my team. This and Crest having nice recoverable bulk means I'm less inclined to get a Wish Passer later on should I not be able to get one. Which at this point in the draft I was not looking at any Wish Passers actually. I was looking for maybe like a Cleric and Alchemy, but that was really it. Next up, we get Rotom Mow. Rotom Mow I think was a really good option for my team because of the fact that I got the Rotom Heat. And this is something I was really actually against at first. I was like, I'm not touching Rotom Mow. That mon is disgusting. I hate it. It's such a bad mon. But then I looked it up on my team, and I was like, I really hate that I have to do this, but I might have to get Rotom Mow. Because it helps solve my water issue, which right now I really don't have a lot of water breakers. The fact that I can handle even like the 4 times weak to grass water, such as Seismitoad, Swampert, is great because I can't run a hidden power on most electrics. So it was like this or Heliolisk, and I think Heliolisk would have actually been around. Yeah, I think Heliolisk might even still... No, Heliolisk went. When did it go? I'm kind of curious now when Heliolisk actually went. So Heliolisk actually went after this, but the main reason I wanted this over Heliolisk was the ground immunity anyway. Because I didn't have a flying type yet, so at least having a second Levitate mon I thought was really good. And it was so lumped between Garchomp and Scolipede, I didn't think I really needed to have, let's say, to really have Heliolisk. And while this is like one base above Crest, this will be a mon that actually runs speed. So Crest is sort of like the gap between like Incineroar plus Jellicent and Rotom Mow in a sense, because I'll never really run speed on Crest in most matchups, whereas this will. So I thought that having a mon that can actually apply that pressure is really good. This set pays a lot of base 80 threats as well, and will actually be able to revenge off a lot of them, which is really nice. Nasty Plot is great to this thing's move pool. The fact that it still can defog because we're doing National Dex is great to this thing's move pool. Really nice momentum as well, which my only momentum right now is Incineroar, so I thought this was, again, really needed. And my team cannot break that well, especially. So having a Nasty Plot mon I thought was actually really good as well. Tier 4 pick. So I thought that was actually a really big steal. I really expected this to at least get moved up to 3B. maybe even a bit higher because of the fact that we moved up Rotom Heat. And this could definitely at least fulfill the tier 3 Rotom slot. I think it did definitely get helped with Nasty Plot, in my opinion. But we'll just have to prove that this gen. Really good pick. A little bit underwhelming without Z. This thing could have actually been a really, really good Z-Mon, in my opinion. But, I mean, it was tier 4, so I'm really not going to complain. Next pick, we have Staraptor. This was something I specifically got for Clutch. In all honesty, Clutch told me, I really need a flying type. It's like, fine, I'll get a flying type. This as well was just a really good 100 base Scarfer, which Garchomp I don't want to run Scarf on every week. This Mon I honestly could, and it'll help a lot with the fact that my team did peak at like 112. Yes, Scolipede is my peak, spoiler alert, I really didn't get much higher. But I felt like between the comfortability I have in my Trick Room aspects, and I have 2 really good Scarfers in Garchomp and Raptor, that I'll be able to bring at least 1 every week should I need to. I do still have speed set up in Scolipede, so again, I'm not really that worried. Oh yeah, Rotom is also a great Scarfer. So I have 3 really good offensive Scarfers. And then, like, my, I believe, next pick, if not pick after, I get a somewhat niche Scarfer. But I have 3 really reliable ones. So I think that helps with my speed tiers. Raptor being a tier 3 Mon helped fill in my tier 3 slots. And at this point in the draft, I hated, like, everything else left in tier 3, in all honesty. So, really good physical breaker. I have a billion of them right now. But hey, I figured, why not? Go big or go home. Raptor as well, actually, I think that with how much physical offense my team has, this could actually be a really good defogger on my team. And a really good defensive one at that with Intimidate, Roost, plus Defog. I guess Momentum as well, so it could actually function as a really non-dead weight, fast defog option. And even if I'm not investing in attack, Reckless will still hurt. So if I want to go, like, defensive Reckless, could still hurt really badly. So, this was really nice. The fact that it's a fly normal type that can actually hit steals with close combat is invaluable in my opinion. This should definitely be a tier 2 Mon. I truthfully do not get the tier 3 aspect. I would have probably even gotten it if it was tier 2B in all honesty, because I think it was that good on my team, comparatively to the pool left, I should say. For a round 8 Mon, it was really good on my team for an upper tier Mon, because truthfully, I didn't really know what upper tiers I wanted. This was at this point just getting Mons to get them. There was like 1 other upper tier Mon I wanted, which I'll get into in a bit, but I really just didn't think it was going to get taken. I asked like 1 person what fairy they were getting, and it was Mio, and he said he was getting Alcremie, and I was like, that's fine. And then Alcremie got taken from him, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to take your fairy. I don't care, I'm just not going to get one. So when Alcremie got taken, I was like, yeah, I can wait on my fairy. So I got Raptor. I said, fuck it. So, Fleet Mon, I can't wait to use it. Haven't used Raptor in ages, so I'm actually really looking forward to using it again. I don't think I used it at all Gen 7. If I did, it was really early in the gen, or in some like 2-week season of the league. Next up though, we have Ferroseed. This was honestly, it was a really low-key, terrifying pick of my Weedle draft last season with Zardex and Rotom Wash and stuff like that. I brought Ferroseed to like 3 or 4 games, and every game I brought it to, I loved it. I know it's not a great pick by any means, but with no Hidden Power Fires, I thought this was actually a really good pick. Again, this is another Mon I was genuinely shocked to see not increase in tier. I thought this thing could have maybe been a good tier 4 Mon, but like at the same time, it is dependent on a Violate, no recovery, outside of Leech, so I can definitely get the tier 5 aspect. But I thought really at the very least this might have been a Mon like I jumped the gun on. I think it's definitely really good steal, even comparative to other Mons in tier 4. I was not considering any of them, and with the way that my draft was lining up, I only needed 1 tier 5 Mon. And I thought compared to everything else in the pool, there was nothing I even considered compared to this Mon. I thought with a Grass and Rotom Mow, that even with 1,000 Arrows is still at least neutral to, well, yeah, I guess it's neutral, because I was going to say it still resists, but it's neutral, so cut that. But regardless, I mean, Crest is still another backup. I have Raptor, which is, again, at least neutral. So all of my flying options, even for like a Mold Breaker Trill, Raptor will still always be able to come in defensively. Crest will still chew for Mold Breaker Earthquakes anyway, even though it's not, even though it's like just because neutral and the fact that it's so bulky. So I didn't really need to get like a resistant grass, like a Bomb of Snow, which I did lightly consider a Bomb of Snow actually. But I felt like that Ferroseed just giving a reliable spiker was really clean. It's a nice rocker as well, because a couple of my rock options did get taken down the line. So between Garchomp, Ferroseed, and also Mawile the rocks, I felt like I was fine in that regard, because this is a consistent rocker, can fit it every week, same as Spikes as well, so if Scolipede doesn't want to run Spikes, this can. Knockoff support was pretty clean, I felt like, especially with just the fact that there are a few Violet Mons that I felt like might have been a little hard to kill for my team. So yeah, I feel like why not? This helps a lot with just hazards in general being great support from Mawile. because just breaking sashes on that thing creates a lot of really insecure switches where you're going to be sacking a lot of mons or thinking you can switch when you really can't, so that's great. Next up is the other Scarf option I was talking about, and truthfully, I could have gotten any of these last three in any order I wanted. I got this thing next because of the fact that the difference being with Ferris Seed, I felt like that no one was going to take any of these next three picks this round. I felt like no matter what, back two wheels, we're not taking any of these three picks. The reason I didn't get this mod last round was because there was one team that didn't have a fighting type yet, and I felt like they might have actually taken this mod. And truthfully, I don't even know if they got a fighting type. I'd have to check that. So, yeah, no, they got Kabalion, like, I think literally the same round. Yeah, the same round I got Surfetched. And that mon being, oh yeah, I just said it. Oops, Surfetched. So Surfetched, I wanted at least one new mon on my team this season. And this is the mon I'm using in GDL, actually, if you're watching that run. If you're not, playlist will be at the end of the video. But I actually really love building on some mon week one. I love using it. I've loved using it in a couple ladder games. This thing is insanely fun to play with. The fact that it is 135 attack scrappy, it's Mega Maul, well, not Mega Maul, it's Mega Lop offense on the dot. The only difference is, well, it's actually one base short, excuse me. But the difference is the fact that this thing can also hold an item. So banded 135 scrapping, now that's where ideas start coming. So at this point, my draft, I clearly just decided I didn't need a special breaker. I did actually consider Kabalion, not gonna lie. But the reason I did not go Kabalion was truthfully because of the fact that I did not like anything in tier 4 at this point in the draft. As far as I'm aware, at least, Aromatisse was already taken. Yeah, Aromatisse went like round 7, and I would have gotten Kabalion and Aromatisse, in all honesty. And then, I mean, Triple Steel wouldn't have been that bad, in all honesty, because they're all very different resistances. But I felt like, though, that Kabalion Aromatisse could have been pretty clean. But because I couldn't get that, I decided on Surfetched. So Surfetched, really good Trick Room option as well. Another abuser, at least, with Mega Ball and Incineroar, so all my physical abusers, and then Jellicent as well as a special one if I needed to. 65 speed is pretty clean. It can be an okay Scarfer, or even a Salic Berry mod is pretty nice. The fact that I can spam fighting against any team that is not a Psychic or a Bug defensively, or like a Poison, is really, really good. And I do have coverage for like all of its resistances to at least hit neutrally, if not super effectively, which is invaluable. Bandit sets are phenomenal in this mon. It does get defog as well, so it can actually be a really low-key defog option if I really want it to. I learned this while prepping randomly. Also something I learned, Surfetch does not actually get Roost. I thought it would have, sadly it does not. That is unfortunate, but I really don't care because this is tier 4 mon. First impression is pretty clean, priority 2 if there's a fast psychic like Mega Zam, and maybe my opponent doesn't remember that. First impression, bye-bye Mega Zam, dead mon, and I don't have to worry about it from there. So, really, really clean fighting type in my opinion. Has definite ways to get around that really piss poor speed, and it's somewhat bulky too to where I can justify picking it up for even a tier 4 spot. Personally, I think it was definitely worth the tier 4 spot. I would have probably gotten a tier 3, but I think the tier 4 is the right place for it. I love the mon to death, so I would have probably overpaid for it. Tier 4 though was definitely a good price for it, and I'm glad to see that I got it in my team somehow. Last round, we got Florges. Now, most of you guys know I named my Florges as Miku. I changed it to Orange this season because, as far as we are aware, Yotsuba's Bride spoiled for all of you lovely fans. You're welcome, all you weebs. Florges, though, I love Florges. I love-hate Florges. It's one of those, like, comfort picks, truthfully. It happened to be around. I happen to have 120 points. 140 points, I should say. This is 120. I didn't know what I wanted to do with them, and I was like, I'm saving 20 points to up Crest to Goth later on. Why not just get Florges? I happen to afford it, and there was really nothing else I wanted. It was a Cleric. It was a Wish Passer. I felt like it could still benefit. It stops Crest from having to run Lunar Dance every week if I want to try and heal up Mawile late game, because I can just Wish Pass. Makes me less dependent on Crest support as well, because this could be nice support. Nice special wall as well, so it makes Incineroar less AV reliant. On top of my dual Intimidators being really, actually triple Intimidate now, because of Raptor, I forgot about that. My triple Intimidators, at least pre-Mega Mawile, will be nice physical defensive support, so this can take physical hits better. So in general, my team is, I think, really good. I don't think it's great by any means. It's definitely not my best draft. My Weedle draft was definitely better. But compared to my last draft in Kakuna, it was miles better than that. I'd say, I think I at least have a draft that can make playoffs should I play well. Though to be fair, it's early gen, so that obviously helps. I don't think by any means I'll win Kakuna. I think the competition's too good. but I think I could at least give a good run for my money. Week 1, we're going to take on Ishan. Ishan's team is a bit scary, mostly just because of G-Dom in all honesty. But it is definitely a team I think I can muscle past. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave a like down below. Helps the video. Subscribe, etc., etc. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye, guys.